I'm Gary, and this is Coasting with Culture, which is all about combining theme park visits and riding roller coasters with various cultural experiences around the world. The first day of this trip seeking coasters in New Jersey started off on the wrong foot, but got better as it continued, especially with getting on several fun rides, including a hidden gem of an extremely thrilling coaster. The second day would have some doubt tied to it though, as a large storm was on its way, making for a race against nature to try and grab a couple more credits. So when I got to the hotel last night and looking at the weather forecast for today, things weren't looking good. They were calling for thunderstorms pretty much the entirety of the day because of Hurricane Ida. And also looking at the Facebook page of Land of Make-Believe, which was the original first park for yesterday until the flight was delayed, they announced they were going to be closed the next 2 days. So that wasn't looking great going to bed. I figured it was going to be a day filled with rain and thunderstorms, maybe find something else to do. I get up this morning, taking a look outside. The weather's not bad. The local area is expected to get thunderstorms around 5 o'clock, and Mount Laurel, where Funplex is located, is expected to get some around 3. So I believe I can squeak in 2 more spots before the weather hits. Let the hunt continue. First was Storybook Land, located in Egg Harbor Township. While a lot of these parks with storybook themes are generally geared more towards families with younger children, there's something really charming and neat about these kinds of parks, especially when they're well maintained like this one. They have some really neat architecture here tied into the storybook theme, and as you explore, you can find several walk-up windows where you press a button and small scenes come to life with audio based upon a particular story.
Who's there?
Good day, Grandmother. It's Little Red Riding Hood.
Once upon a time, there were 3 bears. The father bear was great big. The mother bear was middle-sized. And the baby bear was wee little.
Some of the attractions utilize a storybook theme, such as this Alice in Wonderland walkthrough that begins by heading into the rabbit hole, and inside is a tunnel with artwork that tells a short version of the Lewis Carroll classic. As you get to the part of the tale where Alice meets the Queen of Hearts, it then flows into a small playing card maze. Some of the rides also have storybook themes, and you can also get a tour around the park aboard the J&J Railroad, which provides audio about some of the storybook elements of the park and some of the scenes you pass by on the train. Something that the audio for this tour taught me that I didn't realize, a lot of the C.P. Huntington trains that you see at different theme parks are based off of old logging trains from the Pacific Northwest. So now I've got a nice connection to home each time I hop aboard one. One of the more fascinating animal exhibits near the back houses goats with a climbing tower that has a pulley attached to it with a bucket. You can fill the bucket with food and bring it up to the goats to enjoy. There's also a display in the park of 2 very large patriotic figures with a few stadium seats in between. All these items came from the old Veterans Stadium of Philadelphia, as the figures were part of a display that activated when the Phillies baseball team hit a home run. I never would have guessed that this park had these relics from a former Major League stadium. Of course, the main reason for coming to Storybook Land was Bubbles the Coaster, an E&F Myler family coaster. Some coasters feature flamethrowers. However, this was the first coaster I've experienced with bubble blowers that activated as the train was about to pass by. I just love coming to smaller parks like this because they're just really stinking charming, and you can tell they put a lot of effort into preserving the look and the identity of it. While it is made to cater to a younger audience, it's great that they have places like this for that younger audience. Because as I was chatting with one of the employees about the park, she mentioned that you go to the larger parks and there might be rides the kids can do, there might be rides the kids can't do. Here, they can pretty much do everything. And it's definitely worth a stop because it's so charming. At this point, though, it's time to get back on the road because there is one final stop that I'm hoping to make before those thunderstorms come in. In an attempt to redeem a missed coaster from the day before, arriving to an open park made it much more likely that there would be a chance to get the credit, and it was great to see that it was running when I arrived. If coasters evolved like Pokemon, this seems like it would be the last evolution of the SBF Visa Spinner, going from the smaller figure 8 layout to the larger 5.0, and finally to the full-size spinning mouse coaster like this. The ride itself had some decent spinning, but not quite to the level you would find with the Reverchon or Gerstlauer models. Luckily, I managed to get this coaster before the rain hit, and I had one more stop to make for another redemption. Although this wasn't for a missed coaster, it was to try another local sandwich. When I shared that I stopped at Pat's on my personal Facebook feed, it somehow seemed to be more controversial than some of the shameless coaster credits I've gone for, because of it being more of a touristy shop. So as I found that I had some extra time before my flight, I got in touch with a friend who's from the Philly area for a recommendation, and he suggested the local chain Steve's. In many respects, it seemed to be the same kind of concept as Pat's, complete with a separate window for sandwiches versus the window for beverages and sides, the procedure for ordering, and only accepting cash. Here though, you can see them making the sandwiches, serving a thin slice style cut as opposed to the dice style some places do for cheesesteaks. Sitting down to enjoy this sandwich, I will say I liked it better than Pat's, and the timing of this stop worked out well as the first band of rain from Ida hit while I was able to stay under cover. As it let up a bit, I made my way back to the airport for my return home. Unfortunately, that storm started to play some havoc on our flight as we were late departing from the gate. And when the crew announced that folks could exit the plane if they wished to, I was worried we'd be spending the night in Philly. Luckily though, it was only about a 30-minute delay before we were given the okay to go. That was the end of my last coaster run for the summer this year. There are some trips in the works and some confirmed for the fall, but I was glad to get a chance to make this quick visit to knock out a large number of coasters I still needed in New Jersey. It was a bummer to have a few coasters closed, but they'll stay on my to-do list, along with the coasters at parks I wasn't able to visit this time, and another attempt to get them all will be made in the future, as one of hopefully many more coaster-seeking adventures here on Coasting with Culture. Thank you for watching this Coasting with Culture video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button below to see future videos here on YouTube like these ones which you may enjoy as well. Additional content can be found at coastingwithculture.com, and you can also follow Coasting with Culture on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for announcements, previews, and updates. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, take care and safe travels.